Om Khanilagnabdharityantam Srakkanivodgatam Yatah Antachide Namastasmai Araye Buddhisakshine Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। In Naishkarmya Siddhi, we were seeing the 8th shloka, which said, Vedavasana Vakyotha Samyak Jnana Shushukshanihi Dandahityatmano Moham Na Karma Apratikulatah. So in the previous shloka, he said we are going to talk about 4 topics. What were the 4 topics you remember?
Ajnana, Ajnana Hetu, Purushartha, Purushartha Hetu.
Ajnana, Ajnana Hetu. Hetu means Karana. And Bandha, Bandha Hetu. Not Ajnana. Bandha, Bandha Hetu. Bandha or Samsara. What is Samsara? And Kartritva, Bhoktritva is the Samsara. Its Hetu is Avidya, Ajnana. Purushartha, only moksha is the real Purushartha. And moksha hetu is jnanam. So that moksha hetu is given in this 8th shloka. Samyak jnanam. Jnanam is qualified by the Visheshana Samyak jnanam, arising from Vedanta Mahavakya. Vedavasana Vakyotha Samyak jnana. It is like Agnihi, Ashushukshanihi, Atmano Moham Dandahiti. So we were seeing Dandahiti is the young look prayoga. It was given in the Tika. So young luganta, one meaning is in the form of punaha punaha. Like in Dandramyamana or Bambramyamana, like that, what is the prayoga? So it is again and again. They go in the Sansara Chakra. And here the prayoga is the destruction, which is Brisham, once and for all. Dandahiti. Now in this example, Agni Drishtanta is given in this case. Means Agni, just like Agni burns the firewood, like that Jnanam will burn the Ajnanam. So see in Tika, 4th line, Ashushukshani Sadrishyam cha Samarthasyapi Dahyeka Deshasya Prarabdha Bhogader Anivartakatva Aviprayena. Ashushukshani means Agni. Agni Sadrishyam for Jnanam. So why this is given? See, Samarthasyapi Dahyeka Deshasya Prarabdha Bhogadehe Anivartakatva Aviprayena. Agni is very much capable of destroying the firewood. But sometimes some piece of that firewood is of that He says that also we can use for our example, Drashtanta and Darshtanta. Just as in the Drashtanta, that firewood, piece of firewood, Ekadesha, is remaining, like that, Prarabdha of Jnani will remain. Prarabdha Bhoga. Prarabdha Bhogadehe Anivartakatva. Prarabdha Bhogadehe Anivartakatvam. Kasya?
Ajnanasya.
Jnanasya. Jnanasya.
Jnanas.
Jnanasya.
Jnanam will not remove the Prarabdha Bhoga part. Means that you will have to go through. So in this, there is something that we should know. Does Jnanam remove all karma or not? If this is the question. Does Jnanam remove all karma of Jnani? So Jnani's understanding is, I am Brahma. Brahma had no Prarabdha Karma. Brahma had no Sanchita, no Agami Karma. So from Jnani's real understanding standpoint, there is no Prarabdha remaining. From the onlooker standpoint, from other Ajnani standpoint, who think this is not Brahma, this is a BrahmaJnani, and he is going through some Prarabdha, good or bad, based on whatever is around good Shishyas, bad Shishyas, etc. This is the Prarabdha definition from Ajnani standpoints. Different people will look at it. For that, to explain this Prarabdha, they will say, oh, avidya lesha is there, vikshepa is remaining, etc., etc. From Jnani standpoint, there is nothing, no Prarabdha remaining. Okay. So this is, means from Shastra standpoint, this is how it is. But Shastra is explaining Ajnani, and if Ajnani has a question, then how do I see this person still there? Because if Prarabdha is not there, he should not be alive anymore. Or how there is a parampara of one Jnani teaching the other person, then he will pass on the teaching to the next person. So the Jnana Sampradaya is continued only if Jnani teaches the other person. So to justify that, such examples are given. Otherwise, you say Jnanagni Sarva Karmani Bhasmasat Kurute. Evam Moksha Lakshana Purushartha Sadhanam Jnanam Eva Iti Uttam. In this way, Moksha Lakshana Purushartha Sadhanam. So Moksha Lakshana is Purushartha. Tasya Sadhanam Jnanam. Jnanam Eva. Jnanam alone will give Moksha Purushartha. Jnanam alone is the sadhana. Tatra karmano jnanena samucchitasya asamucchitasya va mukti sadhanatvam vistarena nirachikirushuhu sankshipya tavat pratijanite na karma iti. In the shloka, after explaining what he wanted to say, then he said na karma. So why this na karma is given? That karma, whether with jnana samuchaya or without samuchaya. Tatra karmano jnanena samuchitasya asamuchitasya va mukti sadhanatvam. If somebody has this doubt, can karma give moksha or not? And with jnana samuchaya or without jnana samuchaya, to mukti sadhanatvam vistarena nirachikirshuhu. It's nirakaranam, nirakartum ichuhu, nirachikirshuhu. Sankshipya tavat pratijanite. In Sankshepa, he does the pratigya. Na karma. Karma cannot remove ajnanam, or karma cannot give moksha purushartha. Jnanam will give moksha purushartha. Then the question will be why? Tatra hetuhu apratikulatah. Because karma is not pratikula to ajnanam. Listen properly. Karma is not against ajnanam. Karma is not pratikula. It is apratikula. Because it is apratikula, karma will not remove ajnanam. Jnanam is pratikula to ajnanam, not karma. Iti. Nivartyena bandhena. So this pratignya is done. Now that is explained a little bit in one sentence. Nivartyena bandhena swarupato विषयद्वारा वा जड़स्य अप्रमाणभूतस्य कर्मणो विरोधाभावात् इत्यर्थः. What is a nivartya vastu? Bandhana. Nivartya vastu is bandhana. Bandhana hetu is what?
Avidya.
Ajnana.
Avidya or ajnana. Bandhana hetu is ajnana. So nivartya is bandhana. Nivartyena bandhena, along with the hetu, if you say hetuna saha, or sahetukam bandha nivritti swarupato vishayadvara va. That ajnana nivritti swarupataha is not possible through karma. Or vishayadvara, so ajnana's vishaya is chaitanya. Through ajnana directly or through chaitanya, which is the vishaya of ajnana, karma, which is jada, apramana bhutasya, karmano viroda abhavad ityartha. Karma has no virodha with ajnanam. Vishaya dvara, this is how one interpretation is given of how to understand Vishaya dvara. Vishaya dvara also you can understand as bandhana, and karma has no virodha. And bandhana vishaya, if you take bandhana vishaya is this jiva. There also there is no virodha with karma. If you take Shuddha Chaitanya, also there is no virodha. Because that karma is jada and apramana bhuta. Jadasya apramana bhutasya karmana virodha abhavat. Therefore, it is not against ajnanam, or it is not against bandhanam. Karma. Karma is apratikula. And therefore you will need jnanam. So now pratigya is done. Karma is not going to remove ajnanam. Now Purvapakshi will try to prove karma can remove ajnana, or karma can give you moksha. Either way. See, if they understand ajnanam is problem, then karma has to remove ajnanam. If they say karma will give you moksha, why, whether ajnanam is problem or not, that itself let's not discuss. Then ajnanam is not a problem. Karma will give moksha. That is what I want. So now in our buddhi, somewhere we have this idea that I have to use karma. Understand this psychology. Karma will give moksha means what this person is thinking. Right now I am not Brahma. Something I will do. Kaika, vachika, manasika, something. That act will make me Brahma. Either in one attempt or repeated attempts over years. So his basic thinking is, right now, or I am not already Brahma. I am not essentially Chaitanya. I am something else. That's why I need to do something. So whenever this karma topic comes, instead of just looking at it as some traditional ritual in that way, think of it in more rational way. That this person's main argument is, Brahmatva is not my Swarupa. Brahmatva has to come through some nimitta. It will happen as some new thing happening. Other than jnanam. Other than jnanam, he thinks something should happen. And this is what is being refuted, whether in these kind of shlokas in Prakarana Granthas, etc., or by Bhashyakara, or in Mandukya Karika. Such ideas are refuted. And hopefully we also stop thinking in this way, that when something happens, then I will say, now I am Brahma. So now who has to make this happen? Knowledge means I myself have to do it. When I study Shastra, my Brahma Chintanam is what is needed. Vimrishya paksha pratipakshabhyam arthavadharanam nirnayaha iti nyaya. This is the nyaya. Vimrishya paksha pratipakshabhyam arthavadharanam. By deliberating on, vimarsha means vichara. Vimrishya, having done this vichara, paksha pratipakshabhyam, both the pakshas, having thought over them, when you come to arthavadharanam, some conclusion, that is called nirnaya. Iti nyaya jnanam eva mukti sadhanam na karma iti pratignatarthasya samshuddhyartham nirnayartham purvapakshoktihi kriyate. Iti उत्तर श्लोक संदर्भस्य तात्पर्यम आह प्रतिज्ञात इति. So for this nirnaya, where paksha pratipaksha will do vichara, jnanam eva mukti sadhanam na karma. This is the pratignya. Jnanam will give moksha, not karma. Iti pratignyata arthasya samshuddhi artham. Now you have to samshuddhi. How will we do samshuddhi? He said, my jnanam will be tested. How he said, my jnanam will be tested? Sureshwaracharya ji.
By writing this
By
and knowledgeable people will read it and they will contact.
So what is that word? I just
Nikashasmas.
Brahmavin Nikashashvaso. That's all. The BrahmaJnani, they are this. So on that stone, when my knowledge is rubbed, this is how Pratignarthasya samshuddhi will happen. Samshuddhyartham nirnayartham. Samshuddhyartham means nirnayartham. Purva pakshokti kriyate. Purva paksha is raised so that my knowledge becomes clear. Purva paksha is not. Purva paksha doesn't mean that these people who are writing the grantha, they have somebody sitting in front all the time who is raising questions. Somebody was asking, I don't know, I think they just say these things. This Purva Pakshi comes in Vyakarana also, and Nyaya also, and in Vedanta Grantha also. And in every text that I study, this Purva Pakshi is there. Why he is present everywhere? Purva Paksha means he is not a person. To make my knowledge free from doubts, somebody in the form of a student or an opponent raises the questions. And to understand these Purvapakshas, we have to have some knowledge to some extent of the thinking of those people. And I myself have a lot of such questions. So, this Paksha Pratipaksha kind of vichar is done. Purva Pakshokti Kriyate. Iti Uttara Shloka Sandarbhasya Tatparyam. So now Uttara Shloka is going to start with Purva Paksha. So for that, there is a Tatparyam. See in the Moolam. Pratignatartha Samshuddhyartham Purva Pakshokti Tatra Jnanam Abhyupagamya Tavad Upanyasah. Pratignata Artha Samshuddhyartham. Pratignata Artha, you should remember now, because this is our Pratignya for this discussion. Jnanena or Brahma Jnanena Moksha na Karmana. This is the Pratignata. Pratignata Artha Samshuddhi Artham, to verify and test it. Purva Pakshoktihi. Purva Paksha Uktihi is done. Tatra Jnanam Abhyupagamya Tavad Upanyasah. So, in Purva Paksha, there are now two Pakshas, two Purva Pakshas. One Purva Paksha says, Shastra talks about Jnanam, BrahmaJnana. We accept that there is some such thing called BrahmaJnanam, but for moksha you don't need it. This is one Paksha. And the other Purva Paksha says, there is no such thing called BrahmaJnanam discussed in Shastra. So now here the first Paksha is taken. Tatra Jnanam Abhyupagamya Svikritya. They accept that, okay, there is something called Jnanam, but we don't need it. The other fellows will say, there is no such thing. So, Jnanam Abhyupagamya Tavad Upanyasah. Upanyasah is presented now. Purva Pakshoktihi Upanyasah. Purva Pakshokti is there and Tasya Upanyasah in this one. See the Vakya. Tatra Purva Paksho Dvividaha. See, it is given in Tika. Purva Paksha is of two types. केचिद् यथावस्थित आत्मविषयं ज्ञानम् इच्छन्ति, केचिन् नेच्छन्ति इति. Some people, they say yathavasthita atmavishayam jnanam is there. Yathavasthitam shastreshu. In Shastra, some atmavishayaka jnanam is there. Some, they say it is not there. Tatra etavat evam vidam jnanam abhyupagamya api karmaiva moksha sadhanam iti manyante. तन्मत प्रदर्शनाय अभ्युपेत्य एवं उच्यते. तत्र एतावत् एवं विधम ज्ञानम अभ्युपगम्य अपि. एवं विधम ज्ञानम, that such atma jnanam is discussed in Shastra. Abhyupagamya api karmaiva moksha sadhanam. Karma alone is moksha sadhanam iti manyante. Some people they say. Tanmata pradarsanaya, to show their matam. Abhyupetya evam uchyate. Abhyupetya svikritya, that yes, some such jnanam is given, but karmaiva moksha sadhana. Evam uchyate ityatah praptano grantha ityaha tatra jnanam. So the next grantha means starting from shloka number 9 is going to talk about this. So tatra jnanam abhyupagamya tavad upanyasa. Further in Tika itself, jnaninopi yavad jivadi shruti chodita karmanam akarane pratyavaya hetunam avashyanushtheyatvat taireva moksha siddher vidyamanam api jnanam akinchitkaram ityaha. So somebody says, if jnanam is mentioned in the Shastra, Shastra will not say something which is nirarthaka. Karmas are mentioned and you are saying karmas are useful, they will give some result. Jnanam is also useful. He says jnanam may be given, but there is a shruti which says yavad jivam agnihotram juhuyat. Juhoti is given. Juhoti you should understand. Late lakar prayoga looks like lat lakar prayoga, but you should understand it as vidhili, an injunction. So hotram juhoti, he has to do agnihotram. Yavad jivadi shruti chodita karmanam akarne pratyavaya. So now these karmas which are there, according to Mimamsakas, nitya, something where if you perform anusthane phalajanakatve sati ananusthane pratyavaya janakatvam. If you do anushtanam, it will not produce any phala. Phalajanakatve sati. But ananusthane, if you don't perform, then it is pratyavaya janakatvam. It will produce pratyavaya. This is nitya karma. And naimittika karma, anusthane, if you perform, then phala vishesha janakatva. It will produce some phala. But if you don't perform naimittika karma, then also it will produce pratyavaya. Ananusthane pratyavaya janakatvam. So pratyavaya is there in both nitya naimittika karma. So that is what is given here now in Tika. Shruti chodita karmanam akarane pratyavaya hetuna. This is the hetu. Why I should keep doing karma? Because if you don't do, there is pratyavaya. Pratyavaya means sin of omission. If non-performance will create dosha. If you perform nothing, you will not get punya. प्रत्यवाय हेतूनाम अवश्य अनुष्ठेयत्वात्, and therefore they has to be performed अनुष्ठेयत्वात्. तैहि एव मोक्ष सिद्धेः, तैहि कर्मणा कर्मभिः मोक्ष सिद्धेः, बहुवचन if you take, by this karma you will get moksha. And therefore vidyamanam api jnanam akinchitkaram ityah. Jnanam, even if it is present, vidyamanam api akinchitkaram, it is of no use. So it cannot pass any decisions, resolutions, nothing. It is akinchitkaram ityah. मुक्तेः क्रियाभिसिद्धत्वात्
मुक्तेः क्रियाभिसिद्धत्वात्
नन्तत्र करोति किम्
ज्ञानं तत्र करोति किम्
कथञ्चेत् शृणु तत्सर्वम् प्रणिधाय मनो यथा मुक्तेः क्रियाभिसिद्धत्वात् ज्ञानं तत्र करोति किम् कथञ्चेत् शृणु तत्सर्वम् प्रणिधाय मनो यथा. This is Purva Paksha Grantha now. Now somebody may ask, all you want to prove is that karma is not the sadhanam for moksha, jnanam is. How many shlokas you are going to write and what is there to think so much? So we will realize how much thinking Sureshwaracharya has done on this and why you cannot find or you cannot take karma as the means of moksha. One of the points, 1 or 2 points I just tell you. He said if there was any karma whose result was moksha, then Veda would have said that this karma will give you moksha or this group of karmas will give you moksha. There is no such karma mentioned in Vedas. In fact, all karmas talk about some swargadi. And in Mimamsa, they have a rule that if there are karmas whose phalam is not given, is not mentioned in the Veda mantra, by default, the result is to be understood as swarga, not moksha. So it is very clear, all karmas are meant for swarga adi loka, pitruloka, swargaloka up to brahmaloka. No karma mentions about moksha. How can you say result of one particular karma or group of karmas will be moksha? That he discusses. Then he says for karma, they always ask jati. Means who will perform. A Brahmana person is eligible to perform certain karmas. Kshatriya is eligible to perform certain other karmas. It is not that one karma everybody can do. But moksha, everybody is interested, irrespective of jati. And therefore, moksha cannot be result of karma. Like this, he has some in-depth thinking about why karma cannot give moksha or result of any karma cannot be mukti, moksha. That he explains. And then combining with upasanas, that also is refuted. So muktehe kriyabhihi siddhatvat. Tatra jnanam kim karoti? Muktehe kriyabhihi siddhatvat. Mukti is siddha through kriya, karma bhi. Then what is the role for jnanam? Purvapakshi says, jnanam tatra kim karoti? Purvapakshi thinks jnanam is of no use. And if Purvapakshi says, if you ask katham muktehe kriyabhihi siddhatvam iti chet, tat sarvam yatha mano pranidhaya shrunu. All of that, you keep your mind with full attention. Mano pranidhaya. So, with your mind available to listen to this Vedanta, Shrunu, just listen to what we have to say. Purvapakshi is telling Siddhanti. Tika, केवलेभ्य एव कर्मभ्यो मोक्षस्य सिद्धत्वात् ब्रह्मज्ञानम् अनर्थकम् विद्यमानस्य अपि अकिंचित्करत्वात् इति भाट्टाः प्रतिपेदिरे इत्यर्थः. केवलेभ्य एव कर्मभ्यो मोक्षस्य सिद्धत्वात्. Through only karma, moksha can be attained, Purvapakshi says. Keval karma. Brahma jnanam anarthakam. Vidyamanasya api akinchit karatvat. Brahma jnanam is there, let it be there, but it is of no use. It is akinchit karam. Iti bhattaha pratipedire. So this bhatta anuyayinaha, Kumarila bhatta, bhattasya ime bhattaha pratipedire. Padgatau, dhatu is there, lit, pratham purush bahuvachanam, pede, pedate, pedire, prati is the upasarga. Irech is the pratyaya, and that's why in that pratipedire, that rupa is available then. Irech pratyaya, and then there is another sutra that will make the pa as ped, and then irech. So they say these bhattas, they say karma can give moksha. Why do you need jnanam separately? Jnanam has no purpose. So among Purva Pakshas also, Bhatta and then Prabhakaras will also be there, both. And then Samuchayavadis will be separate. Karmanam anitya phala sadhananam katham nitya moksha sadhanatvam iti shankate katham chet. Somebody will ask that karmana phalam is anityam. All karmas will give only anitya phalam. How you are saying it can give nitya moksha? Moksha everybody wants nitya. Karma will give anitya phalam. Karmanam anitya phala sadhananam. Anitya phala sadhananam. How will you do samasa vigraha? How will anityam phala sadhanam yesham karmanam. tam or tan anitya phala sadhana. So anitya is the phala sadhanam of karma. Karmanam anitya phala sadhanam, tesham karmanam anitya phala sadhananam, in this way. Tesham karmanam anitya phala sadhananam. Kathan nitya moksha sadhanatvam, how will it give nitya moksha? So the sutra for Pedire, it is given Ata Eka Hal Madhye Anadeshader Liti. Kathan Ched. Sutra number, if somebody wants, 64120. How can karma give moksha if the question is raised? Swarupavasthan lakshanaya muktehe asadhyaya api. प्रतिबंध निरोधात सिद्धिम संभावयाम इत्याह शृणु इति. स्वरूप अवस्थान लक्षणायाः मुक्तेः असाध्यायाः. So see Bhattas, they say mukti is nothing but swarupa avasthanam. Swarupa avasthanam means what you are, just be that. You don't need to do anything. Then what is the obstacle in mukti? It says pratibandha is there. Karma will remove pratibandha. Moksha, you are there. And we Vedantin also give the definition of mukti as muktir hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. See, that is what we are saying. Bhatta will give your definition. Swaswarupanu Swaswarupanu you give all these shabdas. There it is. Swarupa avasthana lakshanayaha muktehe. That is asadhya. It is not a sadhya vastu. It is siddha. But if pratibandha is there, pratibandha nirodhat siddhim sambhavayama. We'll just do pratibandha nivritti through this karma. So that savadhanena shrunu manopranidhaya means offering your mind. In other words, give your mind to us and listen. Sansarasya avidya hetutvam upagacchatapi karma hetutvasya punyah punyena karmana bhavati papah papena karmana badhyate jantu ityadi shruti smritibhyo avashya ashrayaniyatvat kamya pratisiddha. The whole thing is one sentence only. काम्य प्रतिषिद्ध करण विहित अकरण लक्षण निमित्त परिहारेण नैमित्तिकस्य तस्य स्वरूपावस्थान प्रच्युति लक्षणस्य परिहारात् स्वरूपावस्थान लक्षण मुक्तिर्ज्ञानं विना अपि सिद्ध्यति इत्याह. He says how he is proving how without knowledge you can get moksha. Sansarasya avidya hetutvam upagacchatapi. Even if you take samsara has avidya as its hetu. Upagacchatapi. So even if you accept this, karma hetutvasya avashya ashrayaniyatvat. Karma is also a hetu. Karma hetu means my prarabdha karma is there, my sanchita karma is there. This sanchita karma gives me repeated birth and death. I am in the cycles because of sanchita karma. So Purva Pakshi's proposal is this. let us exhaust this karma balance somehow. Why? Because those karmas are responsible for your birth. And he gives Shruti, Smriti, Uddharana for that. Punyaha, Punyena Karmana Bhavati. Pap. Karma is to for your birth. Karma is the to for your all the repeated arrival departures. And karmana badhyate jantuhu. So karma is the bondage. Ityadi shruti smrutibhya. By them, avashya ashrenyatvam. Avashya ashrenyatvam. Kasya karma hetutvasya. Karma hetutvasya is the word just before all this quotation. Karma hetutvasya avashya ashranyatvat. Karma hetu you will have to accept. Even if you say samsara hetu is avidya, karma is also hetu. Because karma makes you go through everything. So we get rid of karma, karma count is 0, no rebirth. So now Vedantin will ask, okay, you tell me how to clean up karma count. Because what is Vedanta's way of cleaning the karma count? Jnana. Jnanagni will burn all karmas. Purvapakshi says, I will give you better proposal. Kamya pratishidha karana vihita akarana lakshana nimitta pariharena. Kamya karma and pratishidha karma, if I perform performance of kamya and pratishidha, then I will be in the samsara. Because kamya karma will give phalam, then I am bound. If I do pratishidha, what is prohibited, if I perform, then also I will be bound because I will get some dukkha. And vihita karma, what is enjoined, what is my duty, if I don't do, tasya akarana. So vihita akarana, then also I will get bound. Kamya pratishidha karana, vihita akarana, lakshana. This is the nimitta. Nimitta pariharena, naimittikasya tasya. So if the nimitta is removed, nimitta parihara means this is the nimitta. Performance of kamya karma, performance of nishiddha karma, and non-performance of vihita karma is responsible for your rebirth. This is true. Because we do kamya karma, so then we will get the result. If we do nishiddha karma, then we will have to suffer. And we don't do vihita karma, what we are supposed to do, we don't do. Then also will be punished. Nimitta, these are the nimitta. Nimitta pariharena naimittikasya tasya. So these are the nimitta. Naimittika is samsara bandhana. Tasya swarupa avasthana prachuti lakshanasya. So then what happens? My swarupa avasthana prachuti happens. I deviate from my swarupa. Purvapakshi is explaining. Swarupa avasthana prachuti lakshanasya. its parihara has to happen. Parihara swarupavasthana lakshana muktir jnanam vina api siddhyati. So when you do parihara of this, means why am I in trouble? Because I perform kamya karma, because I perform pratisiddha karma, and I did not perform vihita karma. Because of this, there is swarupa avasthana prachyuti. So how to fix it? How to do parihara? Kamya karma, you stop. Zero. No, nothing out of your desire. Pratisiddha karma, you stop. No, I will never do anything what Shastra doesn't say. If Shastra says don't do, I will not do. And Vihita karma, Shastra says you do this, get up early, I will get up early. Do this karma, I will do it. So by this, you will be Swarupa Avasthita. Swarupa Avasthana Lakshana Mukti you will have. What about Jnanam? Jnanam vina api siddhyati. Without Jnanam, you will get the moksha. Why you need Jnanam? So Purva Pakshi has everything worked out. Ityaha akurvatah kriya kamya nishiddhas tyajatastatha nityanaimittikam karma vidhivacchanutishthatah akurvatah kriya kamya निषिद्धास्त्यजतस्तथा नित्यनैमित्तिकं कर्म विधिवच्चानुतिष्ठतः काम्याः क्रियाः अकुर्वतः तथा निषिद्धाः त्यजतः निषिद्धाः क्रियाः त्यजतः विधिवच्च अनुतिष्ठतः moksho bhavati. This is the main idea. But what is going to happen? He will explain in the next shloka. So he says this is what you do. Kamya karma you don't do. Nishiddha you give up. So kamya nishiddha varjana purasaram. The kamya nishiddha varjana. Nitya naimittika anushthana. Nitya naimittanam is there. But you say we are saying the same thing. Don't do kamya karma, don't do nishiddha karma, do nitya karma, do naimittika karma, do prayaschitta. No, there is no prayaschitta. No prayaschitta. So that is out. Then upasana. Upasana no need. You do. This is enough. In Tika at the end, muktir bhavati iti shashaha. By this, mukti will happen. To this 10th one. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti